Those that deny their history are doomed to repeat it.
President Trump signed an executive order behind closed doors Thursday directing federal agencies and the Smithsonian to eliminate what the order calls divisive and anti-American content from museums and national parks, sources told ABC News. So Donald Trump saying that those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it, before promptly doing something directly out of the Nazi playbook. Where have we heard that one before? Oh yeah, it's been the last year. This video brought to you by my YouTube members and patrons. Thank you guys. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we are going to be taking a look at r/agedlikemilk, a subreddit dedicated to posts that they don't age very well. They don't age like a fine wine or a nice cheese. No, they just age like just milk. Just milk. I know cheese is milk, but this milk isn't turning to cheese. I don't think my microphone's gonna pick that up, but the clouds suddenly just dumped like a ton of water outside all at once. That was wild. Before we begin, very quickly, YouTube members and patrons, you guys get an extra video every single week for as low as £1 a month. That equates to about 25p per video. So if that's something that interests you, please do consider it, as it really helps support the channel. Other than that, let's get into the subreddit, shall we? Casey Hunt. Over the summer, you said there's no vaccine that's safe and effective. Do you still believe that? RFK Jr. I never said that. Casey Hunt. Play the clip. RFK Jr. clip. There's no vaccine that is safe and effective. This is such an immediate aged like milk. This is literally, he aged like milk the second he said, I never said that. But also, it's so fucking frustrating. This is the only way to deal with people like this. The only way to deal with people like RFK Jr. with other MAGA heads is to literally bring the receipts of the things that they have said. Because they are such chronic liars that he will claim to have never said something that was on video and people will believe him. That's so frustrating to me. Charlie Kirk. It's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment. Yeah, so that one didn't work out very well, did it? So a little slight aged like milk of my own here. Thursday's video that came out, you know, a few days before this video, a meme about Charlie Kirk and Elon Musk came out. That video was recorded the day before Charlie Kirk was shot. So I promise you, I didn't just put a meme in a video mocking a recently dead guy. It was done the day before he died, in my defense. But oh well. I would never wish death on anybody or condone violence or say that anybody deserves to be shot or killed. But that being said, that doesn't mean I have to feel bad about it when a Nazi or a horrible person dies. I'm not gonna miss Charlie Kirk, and in a couple of weeks, I'm never gonna think about him again, and I'm happy about that fact. The rain is really chucking it down outside now. I have no idea if this is being picked up on my mic or not. Hopefully my noise remover will get rid of it, but it's quite loud.
If Kamala wins, only death and destruction await, because she is the candidate of endless wars. I am the candidate of peace. I am peace,
says Donald Trump. And then, very recently,
I love the smell of deportations in the morning. Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War. Chicago apocalypse now.
He's talking about an American city. He's talking about a place in America here. Just a reminder there that the picture that Donald Trump has posted, also just imagine posting that of yourself, first of all. Imagine being so lacking in any kind of irony or self-awareness that you would post this picture of yourself. That's cringe. But he's talking about an American place with pictures of helicopters and fire and war, right after changing the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Calling himself the candidate of peace in the past was just obviously a lie, and the only people that bought into that are just purely delusional. This one's great, especially given what's just released recently. This one goes out to my friend George. He'll appreciate this post. So 10 years ago, last year my best friend quit his full-time job to chase his dream and make a fully fledged video game. Today he just released a trailer and it looks beyond amazing, and it was a trailer for Hollow Knight, followed by these comments. I'm sure it's a fine game, but the market is currently saturated with side-scrolling platforms, so I feel this game may not do as good as he hopes. One more indie 2D scroller, cause we don't have enough of those. You mean beyond forgettable? What's with all these indie games looking the exact same? Make something different for fuck's sake. I know, right? Was very disappointed with the beyond amazing. Hope he has a backup plan. Meh, cartoony tooty platformer. Back to the dumpster where you belong. What? Another generic side-scroller? What exactly do you find amazing about it? Feel like I'm back in the 90s with all these f***ing things. It's not amazing. He's using clickbait to advertise the game. OP is probably the creator too. Promptly followed by the fact that Hollow Knight has a 5-star rating on Steam with, in this post, it's actually more now, in this post 139,000 reviews. Bear in mind also that those are only the English reviews. There's actually over 500,000 reviews that aren't English, and the game has sold 15 million units at the time of recording this. And additionally to that fact, Silk Song, the sequel to it, which is probably the most anticipated sequel of the last decade, if not longer, has just released. And yeah, so like basically, this game did really well. It's an incredible game, and I recommend everybody who's into, you know, kind of Souls-likey games or 2D platformers or both play it, because I love Souls-likes. I love some 2D platformers. Loved Hollow Knight. Haven't played Silk Song yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, so a lot of people that were very much like, yeah, it's not gonna do good. It looks so generic and boring. And getting upvotes for saying those things. And the game's done pretty freaking amazing. Marco Rubio on Donald Trump in 2016. I will never stop until we keep a con man from taking over the party of Reagan and the conservative movement. It's embarrassing calling it the party of Reagan, first of all. That's just embarrassing. Reaganism, commonly referred to as one of the worst political stances in the US that resulted in some of the worst economics in the US that we still see the fallback from. Cool, man. Calling it the party of Reagan's a great stance. Second of all, it's amazing how quickly Republicans will change their views the second they get put on a payroll, isn't it? The second this guy was put on Donald Trump's payroll, immediately started licking that guy's taint. Immediately. It's incredible to me how many Republicans considered Donald Trump to be a con man, and how all of them immediately changed their tune the second he started paying them. It's almost like they don't actually care. Speaking of not actually caring, it's sickening to see so many leftists on social media spreading false rumors about President Trump and his health. The Democrats have no class. This you bitch. Is Joe Biden alive? So what she's saying is that she has no class and she's a hypocrite. Yep, she's a maggot, all right. The classic though, the classic. If they do it, it's okay. If anyone else does it, it's a problem. Because a Republican can be a con man, pedophile, rapist piece of shit, and they'll vote for him. But a Democrat has to be literally the perfect candidate that has never done a single thing wrong in their life and has never slipped up. And they won't vote for him. They'll make stuff up. They'll lie. That's what they do. They lie. They're hypocrites and they project. And now it's time for a cat break. We cover some pretty heavy and frustrating subjects in this video, so take some time to enjoy some cat chaos. These are all videos that Leo has gotten of the cats since we've had them. Some of them are quite chaotic and funny, so I hope you enjoy them. Now back to the video. Also, to all the Trump voters, let's not try to rub it in too hard. Lead by example. Prove to them we're not evil people. Don't spike the ball. Let's act like we've been here before. Cheers. Followed by comedian Jon Reep arrested on child sex exploitation charges. Another Republican. Interesting how it keeps happening and it keeps being Republicans, isn't it? Interesting how it's not, you know, drag queens or trans people. Keeps being Republicans. Cis, straight Republicans. Strange, isn't it? Strange. Yeah, really getting across the message to, you know, to all the liberals that didn't win the election argument that you and the other Trump voters are not evil people. Yeah, really getting that message across, aren't you, when you get arrested for child sex exploitation charges? Really getting that message across.
Leftists absolutely hate free speech. Breaking. DHS will now begin penalizing immigrants for anti-American behavior in social media posts. Good. Stop bringing in people who hate us. Officers are instructed to scour social media looking for anti-American activities. Posting anti-American rhetoric or expressing common cause with terrorist organizations will now be considered an overwhelmingly negative factor. So leftists hate free speech, but Republicans are deporting people for expressing free speech. Bear in mind, immigrants, not even illegal immigrants. He doesn't even try and pretend that it's people that have, come to the country through illegal means. No, immigrants, people that are in the country legally, whether they be studying or have just immigrated, or people that are there legally. Yeah, just getting that point across there, that you come to a country legally and you join a protest about civil rights or about wars ongoing in the world, and they'll deport you because free speech is only for them. They whine so heavily about free speech constantly, all the time. And yet the second you say something they don't agree with, burn the books, deport them, get rid of them. You have actual MAGA, people running for Congress who were burning books, right? But it's liberals that hate free speech. Yeah, keep trying that. Keep trying to push that. Bear in mind as well, things that they deem anti-American activities or anti-American rhetoric were people protesting Israel. People protesting the genocide in Gaza was deemed anti-American and worthy of deporting. I'm just gonna leave that. I'm just gonna let that sink in on its own for a second. Gun rights are black rights. Gun rights are women's rights. Gun rights are gay rights. Gun rights are trans rights. Gun rights are minority rights. Gun rights are civil rights. The Second Amendment shall not be infringed. Transgender people should not be allowed to own guns. Who agrees? So those civil rights that should not be infringed, what, only mean that you get to choose who get those civil rights that should not be infringed? It's just that you get to choose them on a whim, whether you agree with them at the time or not. That it's up to you to decide who gets those civil rights, because they're not civil rights that should not be infringed. That's just a word they use. That's just a term they use. It's actually just that they want to decide who gets those rights. Those rights only matter when it's them deciding who gets them. Those aren't rights in that case. It's a privilege that you're giving to people. If a right is a right that shall not be infringed, it has to either be that or not. You don't get both. Contrary to the left's narrative, nobody is being crowned king or named dictator. Followed the same year with the post, "Give Trump a third term, give him a peace prize, and let him run DC as long as he wants. We're not crowning him a king or making him a dictator. We just want to give him the right to run the country permanently for as long as he deems necessary." That's not making him a dictator. That's just giving him complete control over the country with no elections. That's not a dictator, is it? Is it? Yeah, that's the definition of a dictator. Someone who exerts total control over a country and, either fixes or prevents elections being taken to prevent them from having their power. Congratulations, buddy. It's not a left narrative when you yourself are the person saying it. The amount of times they do this, contrary to the left's narrative, and then reference something that they themselves are saying. It's not a narrative. It's not a narrative to say that Republicans and maggots want to make Donald Trump a king or a dictator when you yourself are saying you want to give Donald Trump the ability to rule the country permanently until he dies. That's not a left narrative. You said that. Breaking. National debt just hit $37 trillion. Not just a number, but a bill our kids can't afford to pay. Rep. Mace voted aye on H.R. 1, which is estimated to increase the national debt by $4.5 trillion, according to the CBO estimates. That's because Nancy Mace doesn't care. She is a Republican Congress member. Much like all of the Republican Congress members, she never votes in the interest of the people. She complains about things that are in the interest of the people, just like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert or Matt Gaetz or any of the others. They'll complain about problems constantly on social media, but then as soon as it comes to voting about
about those problems, they'll vote against them. They'll vote against solving them every single time. And you know why that is? Money. They don't vote based on the interests of the people. They vote based on things that they can invest money in that will make them money in return. Rep. Nancy Mace is worth $8 million currently, or an estimated $8 million, from a career in politics. How is it that a career in politics is so lucrative that so many Republicans seem to just come out of it as millionaires? Oh, it's because they're voting on things based on what they can invest in and not based on what actually helps the country. National debt being accrued based on things they're voting on is because they're destroying the country because it makes them money. You can see what they vote on. All of their voting records are public, and yet people still vote for them as Congress members. Before you vote on anybody, ever, maybe do like 5 minutes research into what they actually stand for. And I don't mean what they say they stand for. I mean, look at their voting histories. Look at the stances they've actually made. Look at the things they've actually done, and then vote. And then maybe you wouldn't have a man who hasn't had a single business not fail as the president of the country. Which, referencing that, reporter, how can you justify cutting food assistance? Trump, the cut is going to give everybody much more food because the prices are coming down. Like I say, guy never had a successful business. All of his businesses have failed. He managed to fail at running a casino. A casino! How do you fail a casino? And yet, people were like, this is the guy that should run our country. And now he's, forced the country into an economic deficit while cutting assistance for the people that can't afford to eat. Cutting assistance for people that can't afford to eat and then destroying the cost of food, making it more expensive for everybody. What a great businessman, truly the art of the deal. And the final post. I'm voting for Trump for the economy and to own the libs. Well, there went my shoe business. I don't understand why the tariffs have to eliminate de minimis exemption. Why does government push small businesses in this country, knowing full well that Nike and all the big brands will be fine paying the taxes, but Steffi and I get wiped out? Because that was always the goal. They don't like small businesses. Small businesses don't make people like Trump money. He makes money because large businesses give him money. This was always the plan. I hope you owned the libs. I hope you did, because the economy certainly didn't get that. So good job, buddy. Are the libs owned yet? Did you own them yet? Have the libs been owned? Sounds like you played yourself. And that's where I'm going to end the video, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to support me in making more content like this, if you really want to own those libs, or own the conservatives, or own the centrists, give me money. And you can do that by either joining my Patreon or YouTube memberships, which are down below. You don't have to, though. I'm going to keep making content regardless. But a huge, massive special thank you to all of the wonderful YouTube members and patrons that do support me. All of your names are up on screen right now. It genuinely helps so much, and it genuinely means so much to me that people would want to support the channel. So thank you so much to everybody that does. And if you do support the channel, you get extra content every single week. You get an extra video, and that's for as low as £1 a month. So if that's something that interests you, please do consider joining. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.